Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Thanks for joining us here today on Northern Life. The vibes are high, as our director Shania says, because guess what? Briggs LaSavage is back in studio.
Hello, happy to be here.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
How was your trip to California?
It was wonderful, thank
Oh.
you. Yeah, feeling rejuvenated
Nice.
here. Yeah, maybe not like super relaxed because we had a busy vacation, like doing a lot of stuff because we were out there for a family wedding and it was so much fun. And also traveling with the baby is a lot harder.
I bet that was an absolute task, like trying to figure all that out.
It was so fun though, and he did great. I think we're going to show some pictures of him on his first flight coming up. But one of the highlights, we went to this really cool winery because we were in the Napa area. Just beautiful, and the coolest part was you get to take a gondola up to the top of the
That's
winery
so
because it's like
cool.
up on this mountain. Yeah, so it was so much fun. There's Wellesley on his first little gondola ride there.
He's a minor though, no,
Yeah.
no wine consumption for little Wells.
Not for Wells, but it was great. We got to go around and tour this production facility, which was super cool, and learn a little bit more about how wine was made, because all I know is that there's grapes, and then at some point it becomes a liquid. And
becomes tasty.
Yeah, it becomes good. But we had a sommelier, Sean the sommelier, teaching us all about wines, and I learned about ground grapes and mountain grapes and the difference between, and when the best time to harvest the grapes is. So it was a beautiful time. We just had so much fun.
That's fantastic. Did you get to actually stomp on any grapes or anything like that?
That was one thing missing from the entire experience. I was actually disappointed. I might read a Google review about it. Just kidding, I won't.
And then what was the wedding like? What was the venue like? I know there was actually kind of a little bit of a problem in terms of the wedding day.
Right, yeah, just a beautiful venue, and they picked it because it's so beautiful outside. They loved the grounds, and there was so much greenery there. But the sad part is it was like downpouring on their wedding day. I know my brother and his husband, so they were so hoping that it was going to be nice out, and it just was not. But they chose to do the wedding outside anyway, and I respected that decision because it was so badly what they wanted that, you know what, like, do what you want. It's your wedding day. So we were outside, and we had those cool clear umbrellas. Yeah, which I always think make for fun photos. So yeah, it was super fun.
Is he one that's pretty stressed about this sort of thing? Like, is he pretty high maintenance throughout this whole week? And
I feel like I'm like a plan A person,
Yes.
but my brother is like a plan A plus
Very.
or like person. Very
Especially when there's
scheduled.
a wrench thrown into plans, such
Yeah.
as rain at an outdoor venue. That's tough.
Yeah,
But
okay,
like they say, maybe good luck for the marriage since it was raining.
Yes, I think so.
Nice.
So yeah, it was just fantastic, and we all had so much fun too. Wells was the ring bearer, which he was sleeping during most of it, so I didn't get a good photo. But I did get a good photo here of him on his very first flight. I know, out of Duluth we flew, and he was just so excited. You should have seen him when he was on the plane. He got on and he was looking around, like smiling at everybody. It was so cute. And then the picture on the right there is what he did for most of the flight. So we lucked out. Yeah, he just slept most of the time and only had a couple bouts of crying.
Good. I'm sure.
And other people seemed like they were okay with it. So.
Yeah,
That's good.
I'm sure other people are very appreciative when the baby sleeps the majority of the time.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I got to watch Wicked too,
Oh.
which I had not seen yet, so that was pretty fun.
Great
Yeah.
movie. Great movie. Not only was it Wells' first flight, it was Wells's and I believe yours first time in a driverless vehicle out in California.
Yeah, yes, it was my first time. It was insane. I was like, scared, and I was like, am I really strapping my 6-month-old son into a driverless car right now? But it was wild. My brother just like pulled up the Waymo app on his phone, and he lives in San Francisco, so that's the only place in that area where Waymos can drive right now, kind of in the downtown area. So it just like pulls around the corner, and there's just nobody in it. And I was like, okay, so we get in, and you have to press start to get it to go. And then, we just sat in the back, and my brother in the passenger seat up front, and we just watched the car drive. And it was crazy how human-like it was, because there was a point where there were cars, like, blocking its view. So it kind of did the thing where you, like, pull forward and peek out, to see if there's anyone coming. It did that, and then it kind of like, it was just weird. But I mean, the whole time I felt safe in it. Like, it knew what to do, and it was staying in its lane, and you could see the LiDAR, I think it's called, that was picking up the other cars, like, on the side of the road. So it knew exactly where everything was. It was just a bizarre experience.
Man, a lot of trust in a vehicle.
I know.
Yes.
Oh,
Are they like
spooky.
all over the place down there too? You're driving, you pass them all the time?
Yeah. You could just see him like zipping around, and it was the future for sure.
Yep.
Who knows how long it'll be before we get those here.
We're in Duluth.
We'll have to see what happens. Well, welcome back, Briggs.
Thank
We're happy
you.
to have you, of
Thank
course,
you.
here. Coming up on today's show, I get to chat with a few folks who are getting excited about tomorrow's Pancake Day over at the deck. We're going to hear about the Duluth Lion Club and all about how they're preparing for the big day and how their efforts help others here in the Northland. Such a fun time over at the deck for the whole day, pancakes and sausage.
Tasty outing. Always looking
Yes.
forward to that every single year. And actually, speaking of our Northern Life team here, you're probably wondering why our Northern News Now's teams were here in the studio earlier this week. Well, it's because some of our technology downstairs had a rough day the other day, so our news teams actually had to scramble to get a show together to do here in studio. But fortunately, everything turned out. It has been fixed now, but we want to say a big thanks to our amazing engineering team for helping us stay on the air and be able to provide shows to you out there still.
Yeah, Ryan, you were telling a story about how you got a call at 9 p.m. from Laura Lee, and you were like,
This can't be good.
Yeah, I'm getting ready for bed, and I was like, oh yeah, our folks still do a 10 p.m. show. It's like it's weird going to bed around 10 p.m. now. I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, they're still working.
Yes.
Vice versa too with the morning team from 5 to
Right.
7. But Laura's like, how do you do the Northern Life show? How do you do that coding? And I'm like, I had to really think about it because I'm like, it's usually on my keyboard now. I got the
Yes.
shortcuts and everything, so I'm like, I think it's this camera, but I ended up also providing some incorrect information. But I think it looks like they did a show.
They figured it out?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I mean, just the engineering team, too, to get both
Yeah.
of these systems working in less than 24 hours. Getting after it.
seriously,
Good job,
yeah. And it always happens, right at about showtime,
Yeah,
right?
Of course.
it always happens.
Of course it does.
Hey, quickly, some big news too for Hunter over here. It sounds like you finally secured some Tupperware.
Just for the time
Round of
being,
applause.
anyway. Yes, Briggs, I don't know if you heard or not, but I was more of a Ziploc bag kind of guy. And
boy.
so Kayla's mom let me borrow some of her Tupperware just for the time being. I'm going to go back to plastic bags starting tomorrow.
Oh, jeez.
This guy.
got
The environment hates to see him coming.
Yes, exactly. Look out.
Ziplock's #1 customer. Like coming up, we're talking Pancake Day. We'll see you in a bit here on Northern Life.
Welcome back, folks. Coming up tomorrow, this Thursday, it's one of the best days of the year in the city of Duluth. That's because it's Pancake Day over at the deck. And here to join with us and talk with us about it is Jim Denny with the Lions Club. And Jim, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Well, thanks for having us.
Of course, it's one of my favorite days of the year. I mean, you get to overload on pancakes and sausage and
all right.
all that fun stuff. Are you guys all set for this week?
Oh yeah, been a lot of planning, but we're ready to go.
I can't even imagine like the amount of work that has to go into this sort of thing. So preparation, walk us through the preparation for something so huge like this.
Yeah, it starts about 4 months before the event as you start planning and organizing, making sure we get recruiting volunteers. A lot of volunteer support is needed, whether they come from businesses that support us, school groups, sports teams, and the media. And it's just a spectacular day. But it ramps up, and now we're ready to roll on Thursday.
I imagine, are you guys still looking for volunteers at this time, or is it pretty much set when it comes
Those
to
are
this?
pretty well covered.
Okay.
If somebody's really interested, we'll find a place. I
Yes.
mean, the thing about the Lions, our motto is we serve, and we love to have others come and join us in that effort.
I love that. And every time that I am a part of it or I witness what's going on, it's such a smooth operation. How many pancakes you guys can just throw out to the public. And also, everybody is just so happy to do it, too.
Yeah.
Everyone's in a great mood. It just seems like a great event overall for everybody.
Absolutely.
And of course, you folks offer a couple of health screenings. You want to talk a little bit about that, what you're offering for folks?
Yeah, because our focus as Lions internationally is sight and hearing and diabetes, childhood cancer. We offer diabetes screening through the pharmacy school up at UMD. They do that in the morning up until about 1 o'clock, and then from 4 to 7 we do vision screening, and that we have our own screening equipment, and we also have some that we provide to the school system so that they can screen kids. Yeah.
And is that available to pretty much everybody that shows up?
Absolutely.
That's fantastic. And you were talking also, you accommodate for everybody that has any health needs or anything like that. Gluten-free pancakes, correct?
Yeah, gluten-free pancakes are available. So if you have that need, there's a special grill that's dedicated to that that particular menu. So
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I like all gluten. I'm a big gluten guy. I try to shove as many pancakes as I can.
that's the vast majority for sure. Yeah.
It's such a blast. And once you guys do all the fundraising and everything, obviously many different benefits that come from this. Who all benefits from this fundraiser and funding that you folks do?
Yeah, as I mentioned, sight and hearing. So the Lighthouse Center for Vital Living, they've been a beneficiary of this fundraising event for many years, and so they get a good grant each year. We provide, where there's a need for eyeglasses or hearing devices, we kind of are a place of last resort. If their Medicare doesn't cover it, or their Medicaid, or whatever, that we'll get referrals and we'll step in. In the area of diabetes, through the Healthcare Access Office, we provide support for supplies, where people have a need, and so, yeah, those are areas. It was Helen Keller in 1926 that challenged the Lions to be the Knights of the Blind in the Crusade Against Darkness, and from that point on, that's been our focus internationally. So.
Such history with the Lions Club, and history with this event too.
Right.
How many years has this been going on?
This is our 66th year. Started in 1957.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And has it always been at the deck, or has it been?
No, it's moved around, but it's been at the deck for the last at least 40 years. Wow. Yeah.
That's a legacy right there.
Yeah.
And if folks do want to still get tickets and go to this thing, where's the best place that they can do that?
There's lots of outlets. The Circle K stores have a ticket supply. You can purchase them there, $8 a ticket. There's a number of other outlets in town, as well as this year we've offered a virtual ticket. So if you see our signs around town and the QR code, you can see it on that sign right there. Scan that, it'll take you right to the site, and you buy tickets for $8. Bring it on your phone or print it out, however you like to do it, and we'll check you in when you come.
Easy enough. And yourself, your involvement with the Lions Club itself, it must feel pretty good to be able to help folks out. Maybe speak about yourself and what inspired you to get involved with this kind of organization.
Yeah, I grew up in the sport of ski jumping, and the Lions sponsored a ski jumping event when I was a youngster. Came to a number of meetings just to talk about what was going on in the sport when I was a kid. And as I got through college and started my career, I had a couple of members of the ski club that recruited me to the Lions Club, and I've been a member probably 43 years now. And it's just, it's an opportunity to give back to the community, to do things that this community's been special to me and my family, my kids, and just this is a great way to give back.
Yeah, meaningful service, and
Yeah.
that's what it's all about right there. So we thank you for your time here, of course, and thank you so much for what you do with the Lions Club and what you do with the public as well.
Very welcome, very
And
welcome.
Of course, there's still time to get your ticket here for this event. Be sure to grab your tickets online or at the door for the Duluth Lions Club Pancake Day event coming up tomorrow, this Thursday, from 6 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. That's a whole lot of pancake opportunity. That's at the Dex Pioneer Hall. And of course, we got another interview coming up right after the break. Welcome back, folks. A lot of excitement coming up with Pancake Day coming up tomorrow. And we heard from Jim, of course, about the groups that benefit from the funds raised during these sort of events. And one of those here is Sarah Main, who joins us in studio. So first off, thank you so much for joining us here in studio here, Sarah.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, a lot of folks benefiting from this sort of event. And tell us more about yourself and what it is that you do here, Sarah.
Absolutely. So I'm a member of the Duluth Lions Club, and what brought me to the Lions Club is that I have a degenerative eye disease, and the Lions really saved my sight. So I received a cornea transplant in 2007 and in 2020, and that is directly because of the Lions Club.
Oh my gosh. Explain how their funding helped to make this all happen.
Absolutely. So my corneas came from the Lions Gift of Sight, which is where the eye bank is in Minnesota, and that is where most of the cornea transplants come from here within this region. I also have benefited from the Lighthouse. During times when I had low visual acuity, difficulty seeing, I was able to get services to help me with managing daily life. That's all a direct result of the Lions Club.
So you obviously are a product of this fantastic organization and how they can actually help out the public and this wonderful organization. What does it mean to be part of an organization like this? And are you sort of like an advocate for this organization? What exactly is your role within the organization?
Absolutely. So I'm a member of the Lions Club, but I love telling my story. I love letting people know exactly, what it is the Lions have done for me, and also letting people see that the people who are benefiting from the Lions Club are here in your community. They are your neighbors, they're your friends, and they're even your family. My son has the same condition that I do, so this is very near and dear to me. He's actually had a surgery that is in part from some of the research that's also been funded by the Lions Club.
Oh my gosh.
So it really is about letting people know that when you are donating to the Lions Club, when you're coming to Pancake Day, you're making a difference.
And it's easy enough to do. You just pay some money, you get some pancakes and sausages, and you're making a huge difference in the world here.
That's right.
And like you said, it's very community-based, very locally based as well. So there's people that that are being impacted by this sort of funding. So, of course, it's a fantastic organization. You're going to want to get out and support this sort of thing. And what lies next for you when it comes to anything with this organization or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm so proud to be a member of the Lions Club, and I'm going to continue to be a member of the Lions Club. And I really want to encourage folks in younger generations to look at the Lions Club and look at joining the Lions Club as well. This is a great opportunity for our younger generations to be a part of our community, to step up into these roles and make a difference, and it's fun. What a great organization to be part of. Who doesn't want to be part of Pancake Day?
Right? Oh my gosh, that sounds fantastic. Like I just said during the last block, every time I take part in Pancake Day, everybody's just having a blast. The workers, the volunteers, everyone is just so enthusiastic and just having a blast making the pancakes and sending them out. It just seems like a great organization to be a part of. And definitely thank you so much for hanging out with us here today. And there's still plenty of time to get your tickets here online. And it's happening tomorrow, of course, Pancake Day over at the deck. And make sure to get your tickets online and help all those folks out in this community around the world as well. There's Lions Clubs all over the place. So please make sure to make a donation and help out with this fantastic cause. Sarah, thank you so much for joining us here in studio today.
Thank you.
Yes, we'll be right back, folks, talk about what's coming up on tomorrow's show right after the break.
Welcome back, everybody. Definitely looking forward to Pancake Day. Should be a good one tomorrow. But coming up tomorrow here on Northern Life, I stopped by the Great Lakes Academy of Fine Art here in Duluth as they're getting ready for a student instructor exhibition this weekend. So I'll be talking with Jeffrey T. Larson as we show you some of the amazing pieces you can find at this Duluth hidden gem.
Yeah, that is the name of an artist right there, Jeffrey T.
Yeah,
Larson.
very cool
love
guy.
it. Look forward to seeing that one. Also tomorrow, we're going to have a great discussion with the folks at New Hope for Families and the Sweetly Kismet Candy Store in Carlton, Minnesota. That's because they're teaming up for a foster care drive during the month of May to provide items for our Northland foster families. And of course, that's just a super important initiative. So looking forward to learning how we can help them.
Certainly.
Yeah. Before we go today, artificial intelligence is helping Americans plan their perfect getaway. With the summer travel season quickly approaching, ChatGPT can help with research and brainstorming using Hopper for hotel and flight prices and Mindtrip for itineraries. Travel bloggers are feeling the rise of smart tech too, but they say providing nuance and perspectives is something a machine can't do. That's true. AI can't talk about their experience, maybe jet skiing in Mexico.
Not yet.
The machine can't.
You see this bot on jet ski?
I can't taste wine yet.
True.
Take that, robot. So thanks for joining us. We love you.
Yeah, we'll see you back here tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day.
Find some time to throw a line or just head outside to unwind. That's the life in the great North Woods. Hike or bike, whatever you like. Get out in the day, enjoy the night. Yeah, we got the life in the great North Woods. Yeah, we got the life in the great North Woods. Yeah, this is Northern Life.